Chapter 55 to 57. Meanwhile, on the planet of the Grand Kai, Goku was brimming with excitement. Great! All problems have finally been solved. Goten is truly formidable. I can't help but want to spar with him. He was proud of his son, who, despite his immense power, still retained his kind heart. He had not killed Majin Buu, but instead eliminated the evil within him, leaving only the kind-hearted Majin Buu. Gohan was still in a state of surprise. Goten. I wonder what kind of training he has undergone to attain such a formidable level of strength. Each Saiyan was considered a genius fighter, but compared to Goten, there seemed to be a significant gap. North Kai, glancing at Goku and Gohan, expressed his admiration for Goten. I like the kid Goten very much. He possesses super strength, but he is not influenced by it. He still maintains a kind heart, which is very similar to the two of you. He seemed to appreciate the fact that Goten had not killed the kind Majin Buu, which demonstrated that Goten's heart was still kind and not swayed by his powerful abilities. At this time, the Grand Kai also spoke. I think for this, you should be most grateful to Goku's wife. Without her guidance, it would be impossible to raise such an excellent son. Vegeta, however, remained silent, his face livid. Looking at Trunks beside him, he wished he could kick him in the face. Both of them were half Saiyans, and of the same age. Trunks was even a year older than Goten, but their strengths were vastly different. Trunks was still a naive kid, while Goten had matured like an adult. Suddenly, Goku expressed his desire to return to Earth. I really want to go back to Earth to see it. He had always felt that there was no need to continue with resurrection after death. It was best to follow the laws of natural development. There was nothing to remember about what happened on Earth, but now Goten's appearance and his powerful strength made his heart restless. Don't think I don't know what's going on in your heart, Kakarot, Vegeta retorted coldly. Don't think we don't know that you just want to fight that kid. With all due respect, with your current strength, you can't even defeat that brat's normal state. Of course, what he said was true. That was indeed Goku's idea. Although he said that he wanted to return to Earth, he just wanted to experience the power of Goten by fighting with him. He knew that even if he transformed into Super Saiyan 3, he might not be able to beat Goten's normal state. After his thoughts were exposed, Goku could only smile awkwardly. Goku, it's better not to be resurrected at this juncture, Piccolo advised seriously. Before, Chi-Chi and Bulma asked us to be resurrected, but we refused. If you are resurrected now, Goten may not necessarily take this kindly. I know this from the fact that he didn't want to come to the other world to help. If they couldn't be resurrected 8 years ago, then maybe Chi-Chi and Bulma wouldn't blame them. But they clearly had the chance to be resurrected, but they rejected it. All crises of the planet were resolved now, and Goten had the power to deal with any crisis. If they chose to resurrect at this time, it would not reflect well. Hey, I'm just talking about it. Goku hastily smiled awkwardly. At this moment, North Kai on the side suddenly spoke. Goku, do you really want to visit Earth? Do you really want to fight Goten? He knew Goku very well. If there was no way to fight Goten, Goku would definitely not be reconciled. It just so happened that he had a way to make Goku realize this wish. Of course, Kaio-sama. I do want to fight Goten. You know, when I meet such a super strong person, I will get uncontrollably excited. Goku immediately nodded firmly and said, Then I have a solution, North Kai continued. What can I do, Kaio-sama? Hurry up and tell me, Goku immediately asked impatiently. And Vegeta and Piccolo on the side also stared straight at North Kai. They didn't know what good way he had that would allow them to fight Goten without resurrecting them. You all died to save the Earth. You are the heroes who saved the Earth. So according to the rules, I can give you a special day off and let you return to Earth for a day. After 1 day, you will have to come back here, North Kai said seriously. Of course, this was just a reason he made up randomly. Goku was also considered his apprentice, so he just wanted to help him realize his wish. That's great. Thank you, Kaio-sama. Goku hastily expressed his gratitude with excitement, although he didn't know if the reason just now was true, but he was very excited to be able to return to Earth and compete with Goten. Even 1 day was enough. Hey, Kakarot, since we can only be allowed to visit for a day on Earth, Let's choose half a month later. Vegeta suddenly spoke with a serious face. Ah? Why wait until half a month later? Vegeta, I can't wait now. Goku looked at Vegeta suspiciously and asked, what good would it do to wait for half a month? Heh! Because your current strength is too weak, you can't even beat Goten's normal state. Half a month is just enough time for you to train yourself well. I'm doing this for your own good, Vegeta snorted coldly and said to Goku. This explanation made everyone present look in disbelief. Vegeta actually learned to think for Goku. This was really the first and only time he ever said something like this. But Piccolo didn't think Vegeta would be so caring. This guy chose to request to go after half a month. He must have ulterior motives. Of course, Vegeta did have ideas of his own. As for thinking about Goku, that was just an excuse. Because half a month later, it happened to be Bulma's birthday. To be honest, he hadn't seen Bulma for 8 years, and he missed her, more or less. Although he would not say such words, and he would only bury them in his heart. But this kind of reason was only known to him. And Trunks was now 8 years old and hadn't been reunited with Bulma for as long as he could remember. This short visiting opportunity was just in time for Bulma's birthday, and to let Trunks go to meet Bulma. All right, Vegeta is right. With my current strength, I can't even beat Goten's normal state. It's just a good time to take advantage of this time to train hard and improve our strength, Goku agreed. He didn't care if what Vegeta said was true or not, but what he said did make sense. Presently, he simply did not have the strength to fight Goten. Then, in the next half-month, he would train desperately. Hopefully, by then, he would be able to catch up with the power of Goten's base combat power. That should be considered an exciting battle, at least for him, that was. Afterwards, they returned to North Kai's planet, and he began to train urgently. At this time, on Earth. After Goten used Kai, he arrived at the door of the house soon. But he didn't push the door open in a hurry, because he heard Videl having a lively conversation with Chi-Chi. Wow, you actually have 50 sweets in your house? Really, Videl, your family is too rich. I suddenly feel that you and my Goten are a perfect match. You look so beautiful and delicate, and my family's Goten is also very handsome and strong. The two of you are simply a perfect match. Believe me, there is no other man in this world who is worthy of you except my Goten. Chi-Chi's voice was unusually loud, and Goten and Krillin at the door could hear them clearly. See, Goten, I think exactly the same. I also think you two are a perfect match. Although Videl's strength is not very good, she is also very beautiful, right? And her family situation is really good, except for her unreliable father. After hearing Chi-Chi's voice, Krillin immediately added, from the moment they met, he felt that Goten and Videl were really a good match. The two of them were simply perfect. Unexpectedly, Chi-Chi also held such a view. It was rare for him to be able to agree with Chi-Chi on certain matters. Besides, as the saying goes, marry a girl who's 3 years older than you will hold a golden brick. Videl seems to be 7 or 8 years older than you, so you are holding lots of golden bricks. Krillin himself laughed when he said this. Even holding 1 golden brick was a demanding task for people. 3 gold bricks? Do you want me to die of exhaustion? Goten joked. Nevertheless, their banter aside, the final decision on whom he would marry still resides with him. Top of form, TN. I couldn't quite translate this banter well. It's based on an old Chinese proverb that says, a wife 3 years older comes with a gold brick. It implies that a wife 3 years older than the husband ensures a richer and more satisfying life. Their banter contains sexual innuendo. At this time, another voice sounded in the room. Chi-Chi, I am so much older than Goten, and Goten doesn't seem to like me very much. He definitely wouldn't accept me, Videl said in a shy voice. It could be heard that she has a crush on Goten. Otherwise, it would have been impossible for her to say such a thing. You don't need to be afraid of that. Goten is my son. I know him best as his mother. Goten is just young and a bit shy about things like this. Since you are older than Goten, you will have to take the initiative to court him. I can tell you, if you miss this chance, you won't have this opportunity again. Chi-Chi hurried on. Goten, who was eavesdropping outside the door, had a look of exasperation on his face. I'm not even 10 years old. Are you seriously setting me up like this? Are you even my mother? Wahaha, this is too much. Krillin couldn't help but laugh at Goten's predicament. However, his laughter soon faded. The thought of Goten, not even 10, soon having a girlfriend, while he in his 30s didn't even have one, was too much to bear. He hadn't even held a girl's hand. The realization brought him close to tears. Life really is unfair, he thought. Ha ha ha, Krillin, why the sudden gloom? Goten teased, seeing Krillin's downcast face. Don't worry, men become more attractive as they age. Their laughter was loud enough to draw attention, and the door opened to reveal Videl and Chi-Chi. Huh? Goten, Krillin? When did you guys get back? And who's this pink chubby fellow? Chi-Chi asked, looking at the trio. Videl blushed instantly. She realized that Goten must have overheard their conversation. It's been a while, Mum. This is Boo, he's my friend, Goten introduced. Isn't he cute? By the way, we had a little skirmish earlier. But don't worry, everything's under control now. You went out to fight again. Are you injured? Chi-Chi quickly scanned Goten for any injuries, her maternal instincts kicking in. No, I am all right, Goten shook his head and said. Then he looked at Videl. At this moment, Videl's face turned even redder. Chi-Chi, I just remembered I have something to do today. I'll visit again when I'm free, Videl said before making a hasty exit. Come in quickly, I've prepared lots of food. With Videl gone, there's even more for you, Chi-Chi invited them in. And so, time slipped away, day by day. 10 days flew by in the blink of an eye. Goten continued his rigorous training regimen, never slacking off. Majin Buu, with Chi-Chi's help, began learning and even helped with housework. His intelligence improved rapidly, and he was soon able to communicate with them without any barriers. Krillin also trained with Goten. Despite being an android, he was able to improve his strength through training. At noon, when Goten went home for dinner, Videl returned to visit again. This time with a bunch of gifts, mostly delicious snacks and beautiful clothes for Chi-Chi. After all, she knew that if she wanted something to happen with Goten, she had to go through Chi-Chi. Wow, these dresses and skirts are beautiful, Videl. They must have cost a fortune, Chi-Chi exclaimed, holding the clothes fondly. Everyone liked beautiful things, and women would always love beautiful clothes and jewelry. She hadn't bought new clothes for herself in a long time. Having to feed 2 Saiyans left no extra money for such luxuries. Goten has also been busy with training and hadn't paid attention to this matter. Chi-Chi, as long as you like them, it's worth it, Videl assured her. The clothes are very beautiful, and I like them very much. But I'm a bit older, won't it be too flashy to wear these clothes? Chi-Chi asked, holding the clothes up to herself in front of the mirror. Chi-Chi, you're not old at all, and these clothes suit you perfectly. I've also bought you some cosmetics, Videl said, glancing at Goten with a slight lift of her chin. Videl, you've really splurged on this, Chi-Chi exclaimed, holding up a new dress. She turned to Goten, her eyes sparkling with excitement. What do you think, Goten? Do I look good in these clothes? Goten, seeing his mother's joy, nodded enthusiastically. Absolutely, Mom. Videl's right. These clothes suit you perfectly. Knock, knock, knock. Just then, a knock echoed through the house. Goten rushed to open the door, revealing Bulma on the other side. Bulma-san, welcome, Goten greeted. Goten, you've grown so much taller. You're starting to look more and more like Goku, Bulma remarked warmly as she stepped inside. The house soon filled with chatter as Chi-Chi, Bulma and Videl engaged in a lively conversation that lasted for nearly 2 hours. Goten, feeling somewhat left out, could only watch from the sidelines. Eventually, Bulma revealed the reason for her visit. Goten, Chi-Chi, Videl, I'm celebrating my birthday in 5 days. So I'm planning a grand party on a cruise ship in the West Sea. I hope you all can make it. Chi-Chi's eyes lit up at the news. A birthday party on a luxury cruise ship? That sounds wonderful. We'll definitely be there. She then asked Bulma about the rumored lucky draws at such parties. Ever since she married Goku, she had basically been saving money every day. She basically never thought about things like luxury cruise ships. She went on to ask, by the way, Bulma, I saw on TV that when other rich people hold birthday parties on cruise ships, there are lucky draws. Do you have any? Of course, there will be a lottery, Bulma confirmed. The prize this time is something quite special. Chi-Chi immediately turned to Videl, excitement gleaming in her eyes. That's great. Videl, if all three of us participate, our chances of winning must be very high. Videl blushed at Chi-Chi's words and glanced at Goten, who was left speechless by his mother's enthusiasm. Okay, I'm going back first. After 5 days, all of you must come. After emphasizing the importance of their attendance, Bulma took her leave. Days passed quickly, especially for Goten, who spent most of his time training. On the day of the party, Videl arrived at Mount Paozu early. At Chi-Chi's insistence, Goten dressed up in a suit, though he didn't particularly care for it. In Chi-Chi's words, to participate in this kind of formal event, you must dress more grandly. What would it be like to go to a party in a martial arts gi? Goten didn't want to disappoint his mother, so he reluctantly complied. Despite his strength, which could earn him a place among the top in the universe, in front of Chi-Chi, he became a well-behaved child. Perhaps this was influence of her authority as his mother. Using Kai, they soon arrived at the designated location. A massive cruise ship, akin to an aircraft carrier, awaited them. He had to admit, Bulma was really rich. The cruise ship was no ordinary luxury liner. It was equipped with numerous energy attack systems and energy defense systems. Because of the emergence of powerful enemies one after another on the Earth, after transforming Krillin into an android, Bulma also began to develop offensive weapons. Since she had talent, she didn't want to leave the protection of Earth to Goten and Krillin alone. She believed that everyone should do what they can. Wow, is this a luxury cruise ship? It's so impressive. Chi-Chi couldn't help but marvel. Underneath the cruise ship, a large circle of food stalls offered a variety of snacks, each prepared by a group of master chefs. The entire cruise ship exuded a festive atmosphere. Chi-Chi, Goten, you are here! Bulma also came out, sensing their arrival. Today, she was wearing a sky blue tight dress. This life dress perfectly outlined her stunning figure. Although Bulma had aged, but because of her good maintenance, she had impeccable looks and figure. Bulma-san, you look stunning today. Goten complimented, genuinely impressed by Bulma's appearance. Bulma, pleased by the compliment, couldn't help but smile. Ma, our Goten is really good at complimenting people. You are so sweet. Bulma smiled happily. No woman disliked praise. Sigh. What a pity. If only Goku and Gohan were here, the party would have been perfect. Chi-Chi sighed a little sadly. Although having Goten's company made her feel very happy, but many times, she still missed Goku and Gohan. She didn't know how they were faring in the other world. Especially Gohan. Did he study hard and train well? And that guy Goku was no good. It had been 8 years since he last contacted them. Clearly he had the means to contact them but refused to do so. Yes, especially my trunks. Bulma's initially joyful expression suddenly turned downcast. She didn't miss Vegeta much, but her son Trunks died at the age of 1. She missed him every day, wondering how tall he'd be now, but after a sad moment she pulled herself together. Then she said, Okay, today's my birthday party. Let's keep it happy and not talk about sad stuff. Yes, let's not talk about these unhappy things. Chi-Chi quickly agreed. She knew that Bulma was in more pain than herself. At least she had Goten by her side, but in Bulma's family, she was the only one now. Her mother, father, husband, and son were all killed during Cell Games 8 years ago. After leaving the sad things behind, everyone immediately began to enjoy the happy party. As the party progressed, Krillin arrived with Roshi, and even Satan was invited by Bulma. Despite their initial dislike for him, everyone knew that Videl, Satan's daughter, would soon be part of their family. In the distant god realm of the god of destruction, within the sacred temple, Yawn! Beerus, the god of destruction, suddenly sat up from his slumber. He yawned, stretching his limbs as he looked around in a daze. He had just experienced a peculiar dream, one that featured an incredibly powerful adversary. The name of this opponent had been clear in his dream, but as he woke it blurred and slipped from his grasp. Now he couldn't recall it at all. Who was that? Beerus muttered to himself, his eyes flashing with an icy light. He tried to remember, but the name remained elusive, leaving only a vague figure in his mind. Whisk, whisk, Beerus called out, his voice echoing through the temple. In the next instant, with a whooshing sound, the Whis appeared before Beerus. "Beerus-sama, you're awake?" Whis asked, surprise evident in his voice. "It's quite unusual for you to sleep for such a short time." Beerus had a habit of sleeping for at least 50 years at a stretch. Sometimes he would even sleep for centuries. But this time he had woken up after only 39 years, which was indeed strange. "Whis, I just had a very strange prophetic dream," Beerus began, his voice serious. "In the dream, a very powerful opponent appeared, claiming to be my rival. The name was clear in the dream, but after I woke up I completely forgot it." Beerus scratched his ear with his paw, trying to jog his memory. But no matter how hard he thought, he couldn't remember the name. Not even a single letter. "Beerus-sama, dreams can be like that," Whis explained patiently. "When you wake up, the dream is very clear, but once you're fully conscious, it becomes hard to remember. But a prophetic dream. A rival. Are you sure you're not joking? In the entire seventh universe, who could possibly be your rival?" Whis was skeptical. After all, Beerus was the god of destruction of the seventh universe. He was undoubtedly the most powerful being in this universe, unmatched by any other being or god, except for angels like Whis. "That dream was very real. It was definitely a prophetic dream," Beerus insisted, his brows furrowed in concentration. "The scene of me fighting that guy in the dream was so real, it makes me believe that he definitely exists in reality." "Beerus-sama, I think you had such a strange dream because you haven't had an equal match for a long time," Whis suggested. "Dreams shouldn't be taken too seriously. Even your previous prophetic dreams didn't come true at all." "Ha! Enough with the nonsense," Beerus snapped, cutting Whis off. "If said it was true, and it was true, now hurry up and find out who the guy in my dream is. Where is he now?" Beerus ordered directly, without any explanation. He was determined to find out who the rival in his prophetic dream was. Otherwise, it would feel like a thorn in his side, or an itch he couldn't scratch, leaving him very uncomfortable. "Then, what is the name of the rival in your dream?" Whis asked helplessly. "Name? I forgot," Beerus admitted, a hint of frustration in his voice. "But you're an angel with so many amazing abilities. You must be able to help me find that guy, right?" "Beerus-sama, your joke is a bit too much," Whis replied, giving Beerus a scorned look. "Although I am an angel, if you don't even remember the name of your rival in your dream, how could I possibly find him? This guy really thought of him as omnipotent. Even Grand Priest may not be able to do this kind of thing." "Ha! Can't find him?" Beerus grumbled, scratching his head in annoyance. "It's awful. It's such an exasperating feeling. Clean up. I'm going to vent my anger," Beerus declared coldly. "Maybe watching the beautiful fireworks of a star explosion can remind me of something about the prophetic dream," Beerus said to Whis coldly. What Beerus enjoyed most was watching the spectacular fireworks produced by the explosion of a planet. It was a way for him to vent his anger. "Yes, Beerus-sama," Whis nodded, preparing himself for what was to come. He had long grown used to this kind of thing. Every time Beerus was upset, he would destroy some planets. Although such behavior was unreasonable, as an angel, Whis could only counsel the god of destruction and had no right to interfere with any decisions made by the god of destruction. North Kai's planet. Goku and Vegeta were preparing to return to Earth. "Goku, remember, you're only allowed to stay on Earth for 1 day. After that, you'll have to return here," North Kai reminded him. "I understand, Kaio-sama," Goku responded quickly, his mind already on Earth. To ensure a smooth journey back, they would need the assistance of Uranai Baba, the old woman floating nearby. "Uranai Baba, please," Goku requested, and with a light affirmation from her, they set off towards the Snake Road. Whether one was a deceased soul journeying to North Kai's planet or a living being departing from it, the Snake Road was the only path. For Goku and the others, traversing the Snake Road was a matter of moments. A quick greeting to King Yenma, and they could return to the world of the living. Meanwhile, on Earth, aboard a luxury cruise ship, everyone seemed to have forgotten all the unpleasantness from before and were enjoying the feast. During this time, Videl approached Goten. "Goten, I asked you to teach me how to fly last time. Have you thought about it?" she asked. "Why are you so eager to become stronger? You should know that with greater strength comes greater danger," Goten replied calmly. He believed that sometimes it was nice to be an ordinary person. The stronger one became, the more effort and risk it entailed. If it was before, I would have wanted to become stronger to punish wrongdoers, purely for justice. But now, I want to become stronger because I don't want to fall behind you, Videl declared firmly. She was determined to close the gap between them, even if it meant confessing her feelings to Goten. Tenasa, dream on. Really, Goten smiled, knowing that as an ordinary human, Videl would always be at a disadvantage compared to him. Trying to bridge this gap was nothing more than a dream. Anyway, I've made up my mind. If you won't teach me, I'll go to Mount Paozu every day until you agree to teach me how to fight and fly. Videl threatened playfully. She was determined to learn from Goten. Fine, when I have time, I will teach you how to fly. Goten finally agreed. It wouldn't take too much of his time, after all. Yeah! Hearing Goten's agreement, Videl laughed happily, giving him a victory sign. Seeing Videl's childish expression, Goten was left speechless. And here I thought that I was the younger one. Just as the birthday party was in full swing, Goten's face changed slightly as he sensed several key signatures approaching rapidly. Whoosh whoosh! In the next moment, with the sound of air being pierced, 6 figures appeared in front of everyone. It was Uranai Baba, Goku, Vegeta, Gohan, Trunks, and Piccolo. Upon hearing the sound, Krillin quickly turned his head. Seeing the familiar faces, his eyes welled up with tears. Yo! Long time no see, Krillin, Goku greeted him, waving his hand in his signature manner. Goku! Goku! Krillin couldn't control his emotions and rushed towards Goku. The bond between Krillin and Goku was special, something no one else could understand. At this moment, Krillin no longer displayed the maturity and seriousness expected of his age. The old man in his 30s was as excited as a child at this moment. As everyone else looked over, they too recognized the familiar faces. Goku? Gohan. My Gohan. Vegeta! Is that Trunks? Upon seeing their loved ones, Chi-Chi and Bulma burst into tears. Especially upon seeing their respective sons, they couldn't hold back their tears. They had missed them every day for the past 8 years, and now they were finally able to see them again. Mom! Gohan and Trunks were also very excited to see Chi-Chi and Bulma. Gohan hadn't seen Chi-Chi for 8 years, and Trunks had been on North Kai's planet for as long as he could remember. He missed his mother every day. Gohan. Trunks. Chi-Chi and Bulma ran directly to Gohan and Trunks. Seeing this scene, everyone felt a lump in their throats. After Goten saw the halo above Goku's head and Uranai Baba, he instantly understood why they could come to the living realm. They had received special permission from North Kai and King Yenma. However, they couldn't stay on Earth for long. This touching scene lasted for 5 full minutes before Chi-Chi and Bulma's emotions stabilized. Goku pushed Krillin away and walked over to Goten. Goten, I finally get to meet you. You're really very strong. Much stronger than me, Goku said, looking at Goten with a kind smile on his face. Goten, this is your father, Goku, Chi-Chi introduced. As a transmigrator, Goten naturally knew about these things, but it had been 6 years since he traveled back in time, plus 2 years in the hyperbolic time chamber. He had never met Goku at all. Not even a word had been spoken between the two of them, so his feelings for Goku were completely incomparable with Chi-Chi. The word father was indeed difficult to pronounce for him, therefore Goten just nodded. Chi-Chi wasn't upset about this. After all, Goten had never met Goku before. Now that there was suddenly a father came out of nowhere, it was quite a lot to take in. Goku, Gohan, why is there a halo over your head? Chi-Chi finally noticed the silver halo above Goku and Gohan's heads. Bulma also looked curiously at Trunks and Vegeta, each of whom had a similar halo above their heads. Chi-Chi, we haven't really been revived. This time, Kaio-sama specially approved us to return to Earth for 1 day. After that, we still have to go back to the other world, Goku explained. As soon as these words came out, the excitement in everyone's eyes dimmed. This kind of parting after a short reunion was more painful than not meeting at all. Fine. 1 day at a time. At least you can meet Goten and let him see what his father looks like, Chi-Chi said with a forced smile. She had thought the whole family would be able to reunite this time. Unexpectedly, they only had 1 day to come back. Okay, everyone. Don't stick around. Hurry up and eat. I have prepared a lot of food today. I guess you guys didn't eat very well in the other world, Bulma said, forcing a smile. Some things they couldn't change. That being the case, they would let everything take its course. Ah, the food at Kai-Osama's place is really bad, and I can't get enough every time. Hey, I can finally have a good meal today, Goku said heartlessly. It seemed that he didn't notice the gloomy expressions of Chi-Chi and Bulma at all. Ha! Damn you, Kakarot, you eat the most every time, Vegeta cursed directly. Every time it was Goku who ate the most food, and now he said such a thing. And it was estimated that if North Kai heard about it, he would die of heartbreak. 2 hours later, everyone had almost finished eating. Goku patted his round belly, then got up and walked over to Goten. At this time, Chi-Chi and the others also looked at Goku, not knowing what he was going to do. Goten, the main purpose of my visit to Earth this time was actually to test your power. Because the last time I saw you fighting Janemba, my blood was boiling with excitement. So I've been looking forward to a fight with you, Goku said, looking very serious. This was the purpose of his visit to Earth, to fight Goten and get a good feel for Goten's current strength. Goku? Goku, what nonsense are you talking about? Goten is your son, not your enemy. What do you want to do with him? Chi-Chi immediately stepped forward to stop him. Goku, this guy was really weird. After finally returning to Earth for a day, he didn't even get along with his family. He actually wanted to fight his son. This was really unreasonable. Goku, what is going on in your mind? He is Goten, your own son, Bulma scolded. They finally had the chance to meet again. Today was her birthday, and it was originally a joyful occasion. But Goku's behavior was out of line. Why did he want to fight Goten? Chi-Chi, Bulma, don't you know Goku yet? He's always been like this. Goten's strong strength must have aroused Goku's desire to fight. So, you don't have to worry. They are just simply competing, Krillin said, smiling slightly. Sure enough, it isn't Chi-Chi who knows Goku. It's only I who knows him the best. After all, we had practiced together and grown up together. Tien, he's gay for Goku. Come on, Goten, Goku said to Goten with a smile. You are no match for me. Even if I don't transform, you won't last a few rounds against me, so this is a meaningless battle. Goten raised his head and glanced at Goku, then said calmly. He totally understood what Goku was thinking. Because Goku was a battle addict, when he met a stronger opponent than him, he felt extremely excited. And he didn't care who the opponent was. Even his son was no exception. Goku's power, as it stood, was considerably weaker than Goten's. Even if he were to transform into Super Saiyan 3, he would still fall short of Goten's strength. This made the impending battle seem somewhat pointless, and Goten wasn't particularly interested in it. I understand, Goku said, nodding, but I want to experience your strength firsthand. Goten knew that Goku was aware of the gap in their power levels. Even if Goku were to transform into his Super Saiyan form, he wouldn't be a match for Goten. But Goku seemed to have a sense of regret about not having a battle. It seems that a battle today is inevitable, Goten said. Let's get it over with quickly so we don't spoil Bulma's birthday party. All right, Goku agreed, his face lighting up with excitement. The others tactfully retreated to a safe distance. Vegeta and Piccolo watched Goten closely, eager to witness his power and feel his Kai for themselves. Ha! With a low growl, Goku transformed into Super Saiyan 2. Blue lightning crackled around his body, and his aura surged wildly. Goten, I'm going to transform into a new Super Saiyan form next, Goku said, a smile playing on his lips. That's the full extent of my power. He clenched his fists and roared, his aura skyrocketing at an incredible speed. To the surprise of Krillin and Chi-Chi, Goku's golden hair began to grow rapidly, reaching down to his waist in an instant. The aura flames and blue electric arcs around his body became more intense, and his aura reached an unprecedented level.